So all right, there we go.
It worked. Awesome.
All right, everyone. Welcome to the BLBC NE2, Northeast Colorado's first retrospective for the second cohort for Northeast Colorado. This cohort's going to go over marketing and operations, and it's hosted by the Rocky Mountain Microfinance Institute. Tonight's agenda, we're going to do some quick announcements. I'm going to go over the rules of the retro. Our entrepreneurs are going to give their presentations, and then we're going to just have a short breakout room feedback forum where we can give all of our entrepreneurs some good feedback on how they're doing. This is a very small portion of the lovely staff that has made this possible for RMMFI. They're always working daily behind the scenes to make sure that you guys only have to look at me. All right, this is your capital coach. Her name is Catherine. She's been following, a lot of you guys have already met her, and she's been following your entrepreneurial journey this whole way, and she'll be the person who'll follow every part of your financial journey throughout RMMFI. Kat, would you like to say hello?
Yeah, hi guys, how are you guys doing tonight? I'm really excited to be here and start with the retro one. I've been reviewing most of you guys' credit report for the past few days, so I just want to remind you that you'll be receiving a call when we start discussing your financial questions. We're gonna share a little bit more often towards the courses moving forward, but I'm really happy to be here in this call and excited what you guys had ready for tonight. So, yay! Thank you, Jen.
Thank you, Kat, and it's good to see you, Kat. Bear with me for just a moment. I'm having screen troubles. All right, everybody, don't forget to subscribe. Opt into the RMMFI Community Volunteer Newsletter so you can always stay up to date about what kind of things and resources we have to offer you, hear stories from our local entrepreneurs, and learn other ways that you can support a small business community. All right, mark your calendars. Retrospective 2 will be on Wednesday, October 11th, and that will go over financials and management. Graduation will be Wednesday, November 8th, and time will fly. It's just going by so quick already, so it'll be here before we know it. Our graduation will be a virtual event between 5:30 and 8 p.m., and I look forward to seeing every one of you here. Tonight, we are doing the first retrospective for our entrepreneurs, and what's at stake for them is that right now, based on how well they do in their retros, they can earn up to $800 towards their eligibility, towards a launch loan if they choose to take it, and their eligibility towards getting to that loan. So good luck, guys. I hope everybody gets $800. The rules of the retro, we'll go over those briefly. Tonight, we're going to go over the marketing and operations pillar, which for the past 4 weeks, we've been working diligently towards making sure that they are exactly where we need them to be for our specific businesses. We will also be going over the big rocks, which is the right message and the right audience, our target market, operation cycle, and our capital needs in our presentations. Each of the entrepreneurs will present 8 slides with a closing slide. They'll have 6 minutes to present their slides. After that, we'll do questions and answers. Just ask them a couple follow-up questions if something didn't seem clear in the presentation, up to 10 minutes apiece. Our presentation format. So the entrepreneurs are going to each present their slide. I'm going to control the slide. So if I feel like I'm dallying, just speak up and say, hey, Jen, next slide. Doug is going to be handling all the questions, comments, or concerns in the chat and any technical issues that you might be having. So please let him know if you're having difficulties or if you need me to slow down. When it comes to the feedback forms, only the mentors or RMMFI staff should be filling out the electronic scoring forms, which you were provided with earlier in the week. Each presentation will have its own scoring form. please make sure that you're filling out the correct one for the correct entrepreneur. Links to the scoring forms will be posted in the chat before each presenter. Feedback is anonymous and all scores and comments will be shared with entrepreneurs. If you give an entrepreneur a score of 3 or below, please try to include some thoughtful feedback as to why you might have scored that way. And Doug, I guess something I didn't clarify with you, you've got the scoring form links too, right?
Yes, I do. I'll put those in the chat. Yeah.
Wonderful. Before I go on, does anyone have any questions about that specifically? This will go by a little bit quick. So we do ask, it's going to go by real fast and it's going to be based on each slide. So keep that in mind when you're going through your devices or navigating between Zoom and the scoring forms. Okay. With that, these are our entrepreneurs and their teams. For Kim, we have Jack and Alec as her mentors. For Liberty, we have Latanya Gore-Weidman and Kate Powell. For Hunter, we've got Marie Tatum and Natalie Burano. I always mispronounce your name, Natalie. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to say first names. For Becky, we've got Mark and Bo. For Etho, we have Aaron and Jesse. And then for Darian, we have Tom and Will. So thank you also to all of our mentor teams who have been working behind the scenes as well to make sure that these guys understand the materials that is being covered tonight. Awesome. All right. With that, we're going to move into our entrepreneur presentations. Kim, I'm going to mute myself. Whenever you're ready, take the lead.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, everyone, for giving me the opportunity to present this amazing experience for Sterling, Colorado. I'm Kimberly Ann Ertl Clark and the owner and founder of, there you go, I Am Magnificent Laser Tag Experience in Sterling, Colorado. Our business is a wonderful futuristic laser tag entertainment, food and fun, and it's available to all humans of all ages. And our beautiful experience is located on Magnificent Boulevard in Sterling, Colorado, and our phone number is 970-580-1111. And we can move on. So from many years ago, went to Loveland Laser Tag and experienced how much fun the whole day was with my son. And it became a vision and a dream to have this experience here in Sterling, Colorado, so everyone can forget their worries like we did that day. And Loveland Laser Tag is 118 miles away from Sterling. Is the closest laser tag, and we will be located in northeastern Colorado. And our competition is bowling and the movie theater, and a lot of laser tag experiences have bowling. We will not have bowling. We want to bring as many people as possible to our local community to spend their money, and especially coming from off of the interstate into Sterling. Our location will be a destination location where individuals will want to take some time before they head on to the mountains or back to the east. And we can go on to the next. The 4%, what we have here of the percentages are from a laser tag experience already in business, but wanted something to go by to show the percentage of age groups, and we will be really bringing in the ages from 15 to 35 years old that have the young kids for birthday parties, experiences, encouraging schools to be a part of this, having competitions. And our main mission is respect for all humans, and we will be encouraging that within the business. The next one. The product is laser tag, unique games. There are so many new products that have came about since before COVID. We were working on a laser tag attraction here, and definitely grateful that COVID happened in a weird way and we did not have it up and going, but now the opportunity is available and for us to move forward. And my vision of what I had in mind, the hardware has caught up with what I had envisioned. So quite exciting for this time of all of our lives to put this opportunity together. The price will range from $10 to $100 and maybe a little bit more depending on how big the party groups may be. The placement is in northeastern Colorado in Sterling, and it's going to be very futuristic, affordable, fun location for family, friends, and people to bond and have an opportunity to hang out together. And everything will be quite unique for this area. Alrighty. So with the marketing plan, there is so many different ideas. This is just a few. The social media, of course, Facebook, TikTok, the radio, newspaper, word of mouth is social media is the biggest. To be able to have the guests have the opportunity to videotape their experience and put it on their social media, talking to other locations and being a part of Loveland Laser Tag and other laser tag experiences across the United States. The people that will be building this are from all over the United States, and they have the experience with making this happen. So the next one. Alrighty. There are partners that are waiting for the business plan to be complete and the vision to be put together, and the what is the resources of abilities. There's a business out there that helps laser tag attractions get started. So there's other opportunities with partners. There's a business that can help. And where do the business activities take place? It will be in the laser tag. We will have the main office at the laser tag building itself. So the operations, I'm going to move me out of the way here. Okay. The operations, the manager, the operations, myself, and most likely there'll be a background manager, whoever will be helping get this off the ground and going. A marketing assistant manager will help with the employees and directing training, also including myself. The employees will be guided on customer service skills that will be up and beyond most locations, and from their experience, most of them will be part-time and have a good social way of dealing with the young youth and being a part of the fun, and they will be in charge of the parties and encouraging respect within the whole facility, and encouraging the youth on a good path. Party coordinators will be the employees. They will be trained to handle the parties. Maintenance, we will need someone around to make sure that the computers, the maintenance, the games, we will be teaching whoever is working the employees to have the basics, but for more help with making sure everything runs correctly everything is in smooth working order for the customers is the main part of the business to keep it running smoothly. And HR, an accountant, someone to take care of the drawers, the keeping us on track there, and then the food preparation of who will be trained to do that, and that's mainly a good start for us on that part. And let's see here. They move me back. Oops. Oh, please don't lose everybody. I can't move everybody. I can't move it. So we're in the middle here. Okay, so the building that we have here is a building in Sterling. Last time I checked, there were two other businesses from out of state that were looking at the business. I don't know if that building will be available when this process is complete. So we will go through that experience when it comes time. Startup is around $200,000 just for the general laser tag getting started. There's many more other expenses that I wasn't able to include on that. Okay, my time's about it. $60,000 for the laser tag attraction itself and furnishings and cash. Depending on who will be in the background of being a part of this, the percentage will be uniquely different in each situation. Any other questions? I think that was the last one. There we go. I am Kimberly Ann Ertl Clark, the founder and owner of I Am Magnificent Laser Tag Experience, located in Sterling, Colorado. Our phone number is 970-580-1111. Thank you so much.
Ooh, Kim, wonderful job. I love it.
Good job.
Awesome job.
Thank you.
So since I'm emceeing, I have a question for you, and then I'm going to ask all the other judges if they have any follow-up questions for you, and then we can move on while everybody's filling out their forms. I noticed you mentioned in your operations that you plan on encouraging food. Do you mean just snack type food, or will you actually have restaurant style food in your laser tag experience?
Really hoping that it will be a restaurant, because the food is going to be so unique of how it's prepared and how it is, the look of it. And so, yes, I am looking at having a small restaurant instead of, most of them start up with just the simple, very like nachos and little things like that. Even if we start up small, the food is going to be one of a kind. That the experience, it's the experience of wanting to come back. People aren't going to want to leave here. It is, I can see kids crying because they don't want to leave. So the whole ambiance is one of a kind that people, they may go to the Front Range, but they're going to stop here again before they go home if they're heading east. So
well, that's one of the only times I've ever thought it was okay to make a child cry. So I appreciate that. I see Steve has his hand raised. Steve, do you have a question or need some clarification from Kim?
do. No, I have a question. Great presentation. How far is your closest competitor?
it is Loveland Laser Tags. That's 118 miles away. The next is smaller ones. Longmont is a small one, but and then mainly Denver that are located around Denver, of course, Colorado Springs.
Great, thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions or
This is
clarifying?
Kate.
Oh,
I do
yes,
have a
Kate.
question for you, Kimberly.
Yes.
Loved your presentation, and I love
Thank
that you're
you.
dressed to match your business.
Out of this world.
I have a question on the capital needs slide, the very last item. You said one of the capital, can you go back a slide, please, Jennifer? Yes, under the funding sources, you have 20 to 25% of your business earnings. Could you explain what that means?
Because they'll be a part of getting us started, from helping us, really, that is what they require for the angel investors. And the investors that I've spoke to, they want the people they want to help us get our business up and going. So they will be in the background. I'm not for sure how much of the investors that I've spoke to, until I have the business plan completely done, what they will require. This is some information that I came across, and we needed to fill in the blanks. So that gave me something to have available.
Okay, based on what Doug just put in the chat, that's what the angel investor would take as their cut as the business starts bringing in money?
I believe so.
Okay, thank you, Kimberly.
Yes.
Thank you. Great question.
This sounds fun.
It's going to be so good for all of us in our town, and definitely a vision that's, because of all of you, is in the works and happening. And everyone I've talked to from many years ago that knew I was working on this are so excited. So it's all going to be, it's just awesome. And then the name has changed too. We had tremendous laser tag, but I am magnificent. My vision is that everyone will receive a t-shirt as they come in. Either the wording will be as this, or it'll be backwards. So when you look in the mirror, you see I am magnificent, and you're looking at yourself. So that is why this name has come about.
Thank you. Latanya, I see you have a question, and then after that, we'll move on.
Kim, I
Alex,
love
you have a
your
question too.
this-
We'll get you in there. Sorry, go ahead, Latanya.
Kim, I love your business idea. I love the fact that it's fun, but then also too, when you look at your target customers, and if I remember the numbers right, it's up to age 35 or something like that. I don't remember, but anyways, I love your target customer and just your business idea. I think one thing that I thought of with laser tag, because of the physicality of it, and also with the age demographic, the impacts of how this will help the target customers physically and mentally. So I think that's something that I would encourage you to include if you didn't, and maybe I missed it. But I thought about that in this time when we have a high number of young people who are struggling with various mental health issues and increase in suicide and that type of thing. So I think that there is an important element to add with that information. And then also too, I was curious to know what your protocols with, because we're post-COVID and with laser tag and the equipment, your sterilization of your equipment and mask and that type of thing. Just curious, how do you plan to handle that? Because with laser tag, it's so physical and you're perspiring, sweating, that kind of thing. So I was just curious about that.
So for the first question, yes, we've already thought about making it handicap accessible so we can have competitions with people in their wheelchairs, the special needs to be available for everyone there, and also including the police department, the fire department for activities. It is, our concept's a little bit different from, it will be shooting the lasers, but our mission will be a little bit different. And with the cleaning, the equipment with COVID, they have come up with other products. The vests will have to be cleaned before the next competition. The competitions run from 12 to 15 minutes, and that gives enough time for the employees to go in and spray down, clean off the guns, the uniforms, the equipment that is being used. And also the employees will have that responsibility. I'm a little bit of a germaphobe and I already thought of that because of who I am. And so, yes, the products will be used for the clientele, not harsh, but green type of products.
Okay, thank you. Great idea, great business.
Thank you.
I'm excited for you. So
Thank
very
you so
cool.
much.
Cool stuff. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Great job.
All right. Alec, would you like to ask your question? And then Marie, I see your hands up. After Marie, we will move on to our next entrepreneur.
Hi, Kim. Fantastic job, as always. I'm really happy to see your presentation. I just had a quick question that piggybacks a little bit off of something someone else said earlier, which related to the angel investors. So have you had that conversation yet with them to see, you know, what their financial return requirements would look like? And if so, have you kind of taken that into account, you know, in your revenue stream to make sure, you know, you have enough income coming in to be able to cover all your other expenses on top of that?
So that will be the numbers that will be coming up this next section. I just had to, I put in what I could of the information that I had, but all of that soon will shift as we start putting all the numbers together. And I haven't
Excellent.
had a chance to talk to them yet, or because I have other investors. I just needed some information to go on to start with.
Of course. Okay, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Certainly.
Okay, Marie, we'll go ahead and take your question and then we will move. Did you still have a question, Marie?
Yeah, I was just going to make a couple brief comments. First of all, Kimberly, I am so excited to see you return to RMMFI boot camp and as an entrepreneur, and I really think you have a great idea. I think this goes along with some of the other ideas you presented, and I do have a couple of questions. So my first question is about liability because of the different issues that people might have that are going to be participating in this activity. Are there any regulations regarding age or abilities that you might take into consideration?
It is going to be open to all humans, and there are individuals for the insurance that specialize for laser tag attractions. So I will be going through those special insurance companies, and we're going to make it safe for everyone, and lots of video cameras because everyone's going to be on video. It is the time of the age, and we want our children to be protected and adults both ways. And so, yes, the video cameras will be everywhere within the laser tag attraction itself and the building itself to keep us all on a good page. And that's probably where the security will be, depending on the size of how this all works out and how this vision is going to come together. It will definitely be a place of protection for all of us.
Awesome. And in that same vein, I guess more specifically, an example would be like under 13 must be accompanied by an adult. You know, are you going to have those kind of safeguards in place? I guess would be more specific.
Yes, there will be. Yes, like you said, absolutely. I don't have the exact numbers yet put on paper of the age groups, but yes, there will 13 and younger, a very good age to, it may be even higher than that because it may be from 15 and younger and 15 and older. I don't know. It's right on that fine line of the age group, but yes, we will be discussing that and figuring out what is works best for everyone.
Well, I think this sounds like a wonderful idea. You know, growing up in Sterling, I used to go down the roller skating rink and I miss those days. So this should be awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Envious for all of you who got to experience the skating rink. All right, Kim, thank you. I think our judges have had enough time to fill out the paper on you and give some thoughtful feedback. I'm going to go ahead and move on to our next entrepreneur. And thank you so much, Kim. Great.
Thank you too. Thank you so
Great
much.
presentation.
Bye-bye now.
Okay, next we have Liberty. Liberty, how are you feeling over here? You ready to present?
Yeah, Jen, I'm ready when you are.
All right, wonderful. I'm going to mute myself and let you have at it.
Okay, sorry, don't mind the dogs barking in the background. That's my fault. My name is Liberty Nelson, and I am the owner of Free of Burdens Bookkeeping. I'm located in Sterling. I started this company as a way to offer small businesses in the area a more intimate setting where they can have a more personalized system created to help them reach their goals for their business. I'm open Monday through Friday, and you can reach me at 720-926-0731. My market environment looks like and where I fit in. Only 2.49% of the businesses in Logan County are business financial operations related. And that's not a very large amount. When you look at the fact that 653,000 businesses in the state of Colorado are small businesses. That's 99.5% of the businesses in the state. And bookkeeping is expected to rise 4.59% by 2031. Sterling does have other accounting options, but a lot of them are big businesses. And so I feel like by offering a smaller, intimate setting, that's where I'll stand out. My target clients are going to be new business owners in the Sterling area. Sterling job market has grown 0.7% in the last year and is predicted to grow 34% in the next 10 years. Those new businesses are going to be excellent potential clients, and I'm going to primarily focus on small businesses or family-ran businesses that make less than $250,000 a year. I'll also offer services to individuals that need assistance filing their personal taxes. The products that I offer are bookkeeping with a more intimate setting and personalized systems, as well as tax preparation for individuals. My price is going to vary based off of each person and business and their individual needs, but it's going to start at $30 per hour with an $150 monthly minimum. I will be primarily working for the Sterling area and no larger than Logan County as a whole. My promotion is choosing liberty is choosing freedom from the burdens of managing your own finances and gives you the freedom to focus on doing what you love. So my main marketing plan as of now is the referrals that I'll get from RMMFI graduates and the company itself. I also intend on posting in Facebook groups, I Care Sterling, Sterling Jobs, things like that, and commenting on posts by other small businesses that are looking for work. I do also intend on creating flyers and posting them on local bulletin boards throughout town. And then the Universal Accounting School that I plan to attend on after I graduate from this program also offers referrals for clients, and they will help me come up with a marketing plan, and they'll help me like through that as well. So for my big rocks, I will be handling all aspects of my business. What I will need is a computer, Wi-Fi, transportation, accounting software, a printer, other basic office supplies. And I will be primarily working from my home. I can also meet clients at their business as well. So for my operation cycle, first I'll have to generate leads by commenting on posts and groups and making my own posts as well, and creating and distributing flyers. Then I'll convert the leads by messaging and responding to the comments and having discovery calls with clients to go over the initial needs that they have for their business and what I can offer and what the cost is looking like for them. After that, I'll build or update the system that they have. For that, I'll need a computer, Wi-Fi, accounting software, printer, and an online CMR tool. Once I finish with that, I will send out the monthly reports to them, go over that by either email or meeting with them in person. For that, I'll need a computer and Wi-Fi. Then I'll collect payments and settle my accounts with them. For that, I'll need a computer, my bank account, potentially a POS system, a safe for cash, my phone, and then a PO box to get checks. After that, I'll send out a satisfaction survey, or I'll call them and just ask, make sure that they were satisfied with the service that I gave for them, see if there's anything that they want to be different. And then I'll do CEO day, which is the day that I'll work on my own personal books, settle my accounts, making sure that everything's good for my business. And then I will order and restock the office supplies that I used that month and anything else that I need for my business. The major costs that I have is I want to take the accounting school after this so that I'm certified and I know what I'm doing. I feel like that's important. And that's going to cost initially $3,300 for my initial certificates. And then I decided that I might want to specialize in inventory. So I'm going to go back, and that inventory certification is an additional $700. For the office equipment that I need is going to be $1,300. And then the marketing that I have, like flyers and things like that, is going to be $150. So that's $5,450 total based off of what I have right now. And my funding sources is going to be either myself or the RMMFI grants and loans that I have from this class. And again, my name is Liberty Nelson. I'm the owner of Free of Burdens Bookkeeping. We're located in Sterling, Colorado, and you can reach me by phone Monday through Friday, 720-926-0731.
Woohoo! Yay! I love it. Thank you, Liberty.
You're welcome.
Does anyone, while everyone's finishing up their score sheets, do we have any follow-up or clarifying questions that we might need answered from Liberty? Well, I'm going to take your silence as...
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but...
I don't think it's a bad thing at all.
I actually do have a couple questions. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, go for it, Marie.
All right. Yes. So the questions I have, first of all, just like everyone who's presented, Kim, I loved yours as well, but I really feel like you guys have done your homework, and that's great. But I do have a couple of quick questions. First of all, you mentioned that you will be giving discounts to individuals who need it. And I was just wondering, have you given thought as to what the criteria for that discount would be? Like, would it be disabled, veteran, low income? What would you, I was just wondering, have you given any thought to the stipulations for that discount?
So I don't, I mean, so it's just mostly like I just want to do like affordable pricings and things like that, but I would probably offer like a military discount and things like that. Or I mean, I guess I would just kind of play it by ear. I don't know. I don't really, I guess, have like any type of plan with that. It was just kind of like if somebody comes to me and like they really need help, like I want to work with them. And I guess that's pretty much it, really. I want to have the flexibility to be able to work with people and kind of help them, you know, get back on their feet with their business and like with payment plans or things like that.
Right.
Um,
Oh, awesome. Yeah, sorry, I just wanted a little clarification, but your idea sounds great. I definitely am interested in more information about your business as an entrepreneur myself. If you could pass that along to RMFI.
okay.
All right, wonderful. And it
Thank
looks
you.
like we have a couple more questions. I see Alec. Alec, we'll start with you and then we'll follow up with Mark.
Hi, Liberty. Great presentation. I really feel like you definitely did your research and you're pretty prepared, and I love that. One question I had was, you know, I know you mentioned licensing and whatnot, but I was curious, are you primarily going to focus on, you know, small business clients like regular, let's just call them LLCs or corporations, or were you thinking about also expanding into, you know, 501(c) nonprofits, or had you thought about that yet?
So I haven't really thought about that like differential yet. So I haven't gone to school or anything for this yet, and I know that they're gonna cover a lot of like what each like branch and like, you know, different companies require for doing theirs while I'm in the class. Right now I'm primarily focused on like LLCs and stuff because I started this business because I knew quite a few people that were in the last class for RMFI, and like they came for me wanting me to do their books, and so I was like, oh well, I'll just make a business out of doing that, since I already had, you know, quite a few people come into me for that. And so I think I'll be able to have a better like plan once I finish school. Right now there's just so much of this that I still don't really know. And so like it's hard to kind of decide what my specialty is going to be or what businesses are included. I don't really see myself excluding like any nonprofits or anything like that. And especially like since, I mean, you know, I'm sure that they're going to need help, and so, but that's something that I probably wouldn't be prepared to answer until I know what it's required for each of their businesses. So
Sounds great. Thanks, Liberty.
yeah, no problem.
And after we're done with you, we'll move on to our next entrepreneur. Go ahead with your questions.
Yeah, it's more of a comment. I really love the name, Free of Burdens. It seemed like, I don't know where you came up with that, but I just think that's a great name, and I keep looking at it. But the other thing that's kind of funny, I couldn't get out of my head, Liberty, Liberty. Well, the whole time you were doing your presentation, it just was playing in my head. So I guess that's just great, great, Mark. Great. That's a serious example of great branding, I guess. So
I was gonna say that's the first time that song has ever worked like as a plus in my life. So I'm gonna take that because I hear that song sung to me like probably a million times a week. But yeah, I didn't even think to use that as like, haha, I'm gonna be stuck in your head type thing, because that's pretty funny. But thank you. I'm glad that you like it. So I appreciate the comment.
All right, wonderful. We're going to move on to our next entrepreneur. Maybe I can work the screen. Come on, Jen, you can do this.
Real quick, I just wanted to say that I also was very impressed with your slogan. It was great.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Hunter, if you're feeling ready, we're going to have you go next whenever you're ready to go.
I'm ready. Okay, hi. My name is Hunter. I am the owner of Faith by Shawnee, which is an online faith-based fitness clothing store that is based in Sterling, Colorado. I started this company to bring more affordable clothing while also bringing the word of Christ. You can shop with us at faithbyshawnee.com or at Faith by Shawnee on Instagram or Facebook. Okay, so my market environment. What does my competitive market look like and where do I fit in? So basically there are 558 total businesses in Sterling and only 6.3% are in retail. There's about a handful of sport related stores in Sterling that sell sports attire, and then 390 billion was sold in the fitness industry for clothes. So who is my 4% ideal customer? So 60% of my people are going to be buying my things are going to be women, and the ages are going to be between 16 and 30 years old as fitness is becoming more essential. It's going to be people who love active or comfy clothes, and then people who have, or females or guys, who have a strong faith belief. So my 4 Ps. How will my 4 Ps in brand experience offer the best possible solution for the needs of my 4% customer? So my product is going to be athletic wear. It's going to be leggings, sports bras, shirts, but I didn't feel like I could fit all that in here. So I did my yoga pants. Those are going to range from about $70 to $90 depending on fabric. And then my placement is going to start as an online store, but hopefully one day I can have my own storefront. And then my promotion. So Faith by Shawnee brings you comfortable and reliable clothing at a heavenly price, all while reaffirming your relationship with the Lord. Because we love Jesus. My marketing action plan. So I plan on advertising Faith by Shawnee through my social media, Faith by Shawnee on Facebook and Faith by Shawnee on Instagram, and my website, faithbyshawnee.com. Word of mouth, of course, I'm going to be promoting through people, my friends and my family. And then if I could possibly get an advertisement in the newspaper and offering discounts, and I'm going to be setting out coupons with every order, things like that. Okay, what are the big rocks? So my operations. So myself and my distributors, my leads and my finances, and my office and my home are going to be what are delivering my whole product. Okay, so my operations cycle, what are the most crucial activities for each big rock? So number 1, we're going to be distributing and then printing out our logos. We're going to be preparing our markets, marketing avenues and materials, generating leads, confirming customers, taking orders, restocking supplies, filing orders, and then sending out the orders. And that's where, like, in the box, I'm gonna have like a scripture in it and then a couple coupons to start probably. Okay, capital needs. So what major costs have I identified within my marketing operations and how do I plan to pay for them? So financing for my clothes. So the $31.50 was for 10 for one color of leggings, and then but it was 3 and that I don't know how to describe that. And then for shirts, bras, and yoga pants, so that was $31.50. And then my marketing would be like my advertising on social media, things like that, shipping and packaging, and then my flight. So I have to fly to LA to do this conference with a bunch of manufacturers out there. So there's that too. And I plan to pay for this with the RMMFI grant and loan, some investors, families and friends, and my own personal money. And then again, my name is Hunter, and I I'm the owner of Faith by Shawnee, which is an online faith-based clothing store in Sterling, and you can shop with us at faithbyshawnee.com.
Woohoo! Wonderful, wonderful job, Hunter. Yes.
All right, she's awesome.
Yes, great, great job. I'm excited to see your athletic wear. I love athletic wear and I love religious wear. So I feel that's a good combo for me. Does anyone have any follow-up or clarifying questions that they might have for Hunter? And then after we're done with that, we'll take a short 5-minute break and we'll start the second half. Okay, go right ahead.
Hello, that was a great presentation. I'm excited to see this. I'm curious about the name. Where does Faith by Shawnee come from?
So when I was about 18 or 19 years old, I had this crazy idea. I wanted to start a clothing line. It's been my biggest dream ever. And my dad actually woke up one morning and was like, I have your name. And I was like, oh, and my name's Hunter Faith Shawnee. And so he was like, Faith by Shawnee, and it just stuck. And then that was where I was like, I'm gonna be telling like faith, and then the Shawnee is like me. So faith by me kind of was how that came about.
Okay, I was wondering where the connection to Shawnee was since I didn't see it in your name.
Yeah, my name's Hunter Faith Shawnee Laird.
Wonderful. Great question. I was curious myself when I first saw her name, but I already knew the answer. Thank you for clarifying that. Does anyone else have any questions for Hunter? Anything you'd like cleared up?
I have a quick question.
Yes, Doug, please.
Yeah, Hunter, could you talk a little bit about your competition? Because I know that maybe this will be something that you're doing primarily like online. I don't know if you're also, considering like, in person as well. So what kind of competition both exists in person and online?
Okay, so I'm actually going through a manufacturer that makes Lululemon. And so there are going to be a huge competition for me. And also like Nike, all of the main fitness clothing stores. I do plan to have a storefront one day. So it's starting out as an online store, but I'm hoping my goal is to get a storefront. So I'm thinking those are going to be my huge competitions right there. The people that are already like solid in their fitness attire.
Gotcha. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. LaTanya, did you have a question there?
I do. I love your business idea. I think it's really great. I love the athletic wear and the faith-based and all that. Have you thought about, even though your business is online, and as a way to get your name out there, like locally, is reaching out, since it is faith-based, reaching out to different churches? Because a lot of times churches have vendor fairs, holiday fairs, that kind of thing. So it might be a good way to get your name out there, and then you can do Facebook Lives or videos or Insta, or interview people that are at your booth or buying your product and that type of thing. So I just, because you have a lot of, competition from an online perspective. And since COVID, more people are purchasing all kinds of products online in general. So I don't know if you've given any thought to that.
Yeah, so actually I go to church in Denver, and so I go to Red Rocks Church out there, so I can reach out to them, but I'm also helping start up 2 other churches in Denver, so I could also reach out to them. So
Okay.
That'll be something I will do. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, I just think that it's a great idea and concept, and churches are always having, especially like the last quarter of the year, there's a lot of holiday events and women's events and teas and vendor fairs, holiday fairs, and that kind of thing. So, that might be a good way to kind of from an offline perspective, and then leverage your social media, and then, you can just catapult, your online traffic and business. But great business idea and concept and presentation.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Wonderful, wonderful job, Hunter. With that, we're gonna, Doug, I don't know if this will interrupt the live feed. If we were to do just a quick 2-3 minute break.
I think we can do that, and it's okay if there's a little pause.
All right, everyone, we're gonna take a quick 2 to 3 minute break. Actually, let's just go ahead and make it a solid 3 minutes at 6:33. We'll all rejoin here for the second half of our retrospective for Northeast Colorado. Okay, team, I'm going to give it to the end of 6:33 just to make sure that everybody gets back into the retrospective. And I just want to thank everyone. I've loved your entrepreneur presentations so far, and also the very thoughtful questions, comments, and concerns that have come up from our mentor team and staff since then. So thank you all so much. This has been a great retrospective. And then Becky, if you just want to let us know when you're back on, we'll go ahead and continue with you.
Whenever you want to get started, Jennifer, I'll be fine.
Okay, whenever you're ready, Becky.
Hi, everybody. My name is Becky Guernsey, and I have started a company called Start Something New. Currently, we're just online on Facebook, but you can reach me at the number and the email that's listed there on the screen, 970-466-3801. Locally, the thrift shopping market is desperately, drastically underserved in this area. We have one thrift store, 50-mile radius. That's the Cooperating Ministries, and it has been established for 20 years. It is the place to buy used items. They have everything that you could use: clothing, housewares, home decors, books, toys. They have furniture, but it's not actually on the sales floor, so you have to look at it somewhere else. They recently did raise their prices, and I was actually there this morning and bought a pair of sandals for $5, and I thought that was a little pricey, but and they did just start up a loyalty punch card type program that you get so much off after you've spent $20 a few times. Online is going to be where I'm going to have the most competition. Facebook Marketplace is the platform that rural Colorado use. It's open to everybody. Anybody can post everything. I already have a buy sell group. I got 232 members in my group. I think 333 now. But in 36 days, I'm going to have my own online store, and it's going to be integrated with the Facebook store. My customers, we have basically 3 or 4 different categories of customers. The first one is the budget conscientious customer, and they're going to be, your lower to middle income based people. But 16 to 18% of American consumers already shop secondhand. 62% of that are from Generation Z or millennials. So it's a younger type of group. 93% of the customers, they shop online. The eco-conscious customer is the next category of people, because sustainability is a big deal with secondhand shopping. 60% of Americans say that they would change their shopping habits if they thought it was going to reduce their carbon footprint. Other than that, you have your vintage enthusiasts, your antique people, your resellers, and then people who are looking for things to round out their collections at home. My marketing plan. I'm going to do a lot of Toma marketing, top of mind advertising. It comes with a word of mouth, distribute the business cards, you have brochures and flyers everywhere, yard signs out. But Toma does a lot of stuff where you nominate yourself for awards. So like the best of Sterling's that they're just out in the newspapers. You make big deals out of unusual holidays. And you can see a few there that are listed. Like 10/17, wear something gaudy day. I think a thrift store should be able to handle that pretty well. Then you support local and national causes, poker runs, any kind of fundraiser for somebody local. If you can donate to a silent auction, that's always great. The fair parade, the parade of lights, get your name out there. Got to do your social media. That's one area that I need to really work on. I got to get my items up, posted for sale. Hosting events. I love what somebody just said about having live feeds at vendor events. My online directories, I have those all in place, my Google, my Yelp, my Yellow Pages. And then again, the 30 to 60 day goal of having my own website. My big rocks, as a sole proprietor, I basically have the responsibility to do everything that I need to get done. There's 4 basic parts of how I get things done. I have to inventory acquisition, and it's something that I do. You got the few ways that I do it. Most of them come from donations and garage sales. leftovers. I like to buy out garage sales too. It makes everybody happy. They don't have to sit out in the hot sun. I don't have to worry about whether or not my stuff's dirty or clean coming out of a dumpster. My one area of concern is transportation. Got a little issue going on with the DMV about my driving privileges. And right now, my husband is the only person that I'm willing to let drive my vehicle. And with his job, it does kind of limit the amount of time that I can actively go out and about. Selling my items is, I mean, if we don't sell something, what are you doing? But I have to take the pictures, I have to price it, I have to research all the prices, I have to post them, I have to do all the customer engagement and follow up on that. And then the clerical, and I'm probably always going to do all my clerical because I'm just a little picky, but that includes my marketing, my bookkeeping, my cleaning, my pricing, and all of those types of things. My operations cycle, it's kind of the same thing as my big rocks. You know, you have to have your inventory. You have to go out and find people who want to give you things, which isn't really hard to do. The pricing is probably the most intense part of the whole operating, because you have to know when things are valuable and you have to know what to look up and what not to look up and how to look it up. The personalized shopping is something that I kind of do. I have people who they collect fairies per se, and if I get a fairy item in, I will send it to them first off and foremost. I have somebody who collects bird cages, and I have bird cages waiting for them to come get. That's one of the things that I like to do because I like making other people happy. It makes me happy. Behind the scenes, you know, the hardest part in there is locating the vendor events, because they don't put that word out there very easily. You really have to kind of dig down into the internet to find them. I've got a good couple sites on Facebook right now that I'm working with. Go ahead, Jen. My capital needs. So far, I've been doing this for just about a year now, and I've been doing it all on my all out of my own pocket. I'm looking for grants other than what I'm getting from RMMFI. And like it says there, being a disabled veteran, you know, there are opportunities that I'm going to be able to have open to me that other people won't. I've already worked with Colorado Department of Voc Rehab. I'm already qualified. As soon as I can get a business plan solid, then I can go back and present that to them so they can do their feasibility report. And if everything works out, then they will cover 85% of my startup cost, and the other 15% of my startup comes from things that I already have on hand, which 3 garages full of inventory. I think I got that covered. I don't really want to do a startup loan. January this year, I bought a home and my credit's kind of tapped out. But things that I need to cover is I really need to hire somebody to drive Miss Daisy. My husband, again, just started a new job and he's just not available. That's the hard part because I have to be able to trust him to drive my truck, and it's a stick shift, so that always works out great. The current expenses that I already have, I have 3 garage units that 20 to 30 feet each, and they're $105 a month. I need to get a good canopy for any of my outside events. I got some different variations there, although last night I think I might have my canopy covered because I found something out in the yard. Other expenses that I need is the traveling, my vehicle expenses, and then just some subscriptions and stuff. And ultimately, the business should pay for itself. My inventory costs are next to nothing. The only thing that ever really cost me anything for inventory is a storage unit auction when I go to those. And I think that is that. Again, start something new. We're a new to you boutique that's in the business of helping people help themselves.
Woohoo! Becky, that's wonderful. And just so everybody knows, I'm the birdhouse person.
I can see that. I see that, Jen.
All right. Does anyone have any follow-up questions for Becky or need any clarification about anything in her presentation? A wonderful presentation, by the way, Becky. Absolutely loved it.
Thank you.
I have a quick question. Becky, will you talk to us a little bit about your inspiration for this business?
Well, back in 2017, I think it was, my daughter had just passed away, and so I was looking for something to keep me busy because I was a mom, and I started just dumpster diving basically, and just rehoming everything to the community. I ended up with a lot of things that you just can't rehome very easily, and so I had to start looking at how to get rid of these things, and eventually it worked into the point where it became something that I was making money on a little bit. I never really made a lot of money because I don't necessarily charge anybody who can't afford anything, especially if it's something that they need to have in order to survive. I mean, everybody needs a plate, everybody needs a bowl, everybody needs a pair of socks,
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing, Becky.
Mm-hmm.
Becky, I have a question for you, or something you've mentioned before, and I hope you don't mind mentioning it now. You also, with your business, you go a lot into sustainability and the ecosystem, but you also do a lot of other things to help out our community, as far as like employment and stuff. Can you touch base a little bit on that?
There's so many things that this community needs. I want to do things like day labor. There is a community of homeless people out there that would love a chance to come and clean up the fairgrounds after a vendor event. Day labor is a big thing. I want to work with ATC so that people coming out of the halfway house can have those things that they need when they get their first place. And same thing with the college. I call it Hope Chest. I do a lot of things in the community with the homeless community, because I think that I hope and pray that they are just looking for somebody to give them a hand up, and then they'll take it from there. And that's why I'm only helping people who want to help themselves, because they shouldn't be asking anybody to do something that they can do for themselves.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely beautiful. That was an amazing presentation. And yes, there are so many homeless people that are in need of resources here in our community. That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
All right.
Jennifer, can we have the contact information to the different entrepreneurs at the end?
Yes, absolutely. As long as the entrepreneurs are okay with that, I will make sure that I get those resources to you guys directly.
And
All
well,
right,
actually,
thank you.
if it's easier, and as again, like Jen said, as long as the entrepreneurs are okay with it, they could just drop their contact info in the chat.
Yeah. I just want to be a little reserved on that. Some of our entrepreneurs haven't quite got their businesses up and running yet. So I just want to, have a little bit of, respect for those who aren't quite ready yet. But yes, absolutely. And Marie, I will make sure you get that information. I'm not sure if you know where Start Something New is, but great place, great store. And I will make sure you get that information, Marie. Does anyone
Thank you, as well as Incredible You by Kim.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
For these purposes, does anyone else have any questions or anything they need clarified for Becky before we move on? All right, wonderful job, Becky. Love your presentation. And our judges should be done with the scoring forms by now. So I'm going to move on to our next entrepreneur, who is Etho Foxhill. Etho, whenever you're comfortable, go ahead and let me know. I'll mute myself and you can get started.
I'm ready. I am Etho. I own Shimmery Seams. Shimmery Seams is a custom-based clothing textile business, mostly making bears right now, but I can do everything under the sun. If it needs sewn or repaired, I can do that. I do memory bears, etc. Contact information is on the screen. Best way to contact me right now is probably the phone number. Text me. Find me on Facebook. I do have a business page on Facebook. Biggest competition that I had found until about a week ago was Build-A-Bear and Amazon. Amazon sells everything
Build-A-Bear, they are my biggest competition. You know, Aaron and I, we know that. My bears are different and unique though, because mine are the only bears that can go into every hospital in the entire country. They can go into every hospital in the world. Build-A-Bears are restricted to not being allowed in certain hospitals because they are made with plush. They're actually made of fur. Fur can get into the CAT scan machines and the MRIs. They're not safe. They also have metal parts. They are also not made in the United States. They're made overseas and imported materials. Mine are 100% made in the United States. Mine have no metal pieces. Mine are 100% safe. Mine are can be memory bears. They can be anything. And that's the one I found a week ago, was this company named Molly Bears. I don't know if I 100% believe the stats that she's putting out there. She's saying in the last 10 years, they have given, you know, quote unquote, given 27,000 bears away to families that have had a child that passed away under a year. If you look further into her website, she's charging these families $40 a bear. So she's not donating these. She's not doing it in memory of her daughter. At this point, to me, it's a profit-making scheme. If you have a child that dies, I don't care what the age is. I don't care if your child is 50 years old. If you need a memory bear in honor of your kid or in memory of your kid, come talk to me. If their child is under 10, it'll be done for free. Usually if they're under, you know, if you tell me it was a kid that died, I'm probably going to do it for free just because you're giving me the item that your kid wore. If you want me to do one custom, I might charge for materials, but memory bears I don't charge for. Not for kids. We can go on, Jen. Next one, yeah. My target customer is anybody with families and small kids.
Hi.
How big a Band-Aid? They have a little cut.
Yeah. Also families that have a loved one that triumphed over cancer, has a grandchild or child with a specific disability, people that have micropremies. If we're focusing on my bears, I make them, it's hard to pick a certain customer because my bears are made custom to anybody. Anybody can come and say, I need a bear. My Aaron brought up the wonderful idea, and I am researching this, putting them into the hospital gift shops, getting them to people in the medical center so the families can go in and actually, instead of buying a gun bear or the Plaus bear that's that's plush, that may not be allowed in their child's hospital room, they could go buy my bear and it could be allowed in all parts of the hospital because they're 100% hyperallergenic. They're fully washable. They're dryable. I have tested it. My washing machine has a sanitized load that goes probably to 220 degrees. I can dry them. Nothing has happened to my bears. The eyes don't melt. The flesh is just perfectly fine when you're done. So they are 100% safe. Next one, Jen. Right now, what I'm focusing on, and that's what I'm doing the RMFI for, is to get my ribbon bears out there for more people. So it's a line of my bears. I do have different bears that I do for different things. The ribbon bears are an awareness bear. So they will have a name on their foot because originally I had 26 and Aaron said, why limit it to 26? I limited it because sometimes you have an awareness that's yellow and yellow for different things. So it could be for cancer, it could be for liver cancer, it could be for childhood cancer. And there was no way to differentiate. Well, with the embroidery machine, I can put on the bottom of their foot what cancer is for, what awareness it's for. Families can walk in and see that bear and buy that bear that they need. So my embroidered ribbon bears will be $40. My basic Birkin bears, pocket pals, etc., they run 20 to 40. Memory bears are just whatever based on the family. I can also weight a bear. So I can put any weight in these bears. I can make these bears any size. It's my pattern, so I can shrink it down. So I have made these bears be 7 ounces, 9 inches long in memory of a child that had passed away. I have made plush frogs and plush snowmen. One of my dearest customers, I'll remember her forever. She actually wanted a snowman made out of her daughter's last sleeper it was a foster child they had adopted, and she had passed away at 10. And she wanted a snowman for her daughter's last resting place. And so I fully lined it, and that's where her daughter's ashes were made, in her curio cabinet. Nobody but us knows what's really inside of that bear. And then I'm gonna try to sell these at local events. I've got one booked in October, one booked in November, December. So a wing and a prayer, we're gonna hope it does well. As long as I sell 2 bears, I've made my money back and it was a good experience. Next one. Like I said, I'm going to try marketing in the hospitals and gift shops. I already do the charity events. I do donate to the foster care in town. I do donate to the fire and police departments. I have not donated yet to victim advocates, but I think that's another one. Some of my bears I've donated to Feeders and Friends auctions and stuff. One of my bears, Superman bear, it was for a local family. A little girl was suffering neuroblastoma cancer at 1 year old. It happened to be friends of ours. We donated it. Not only did the bear bring in $752 for the family on just one of my simple little bears, it got donated back to the family. I do believe the little girl still has it. I do market to special education programs. I have not thought about doing the Special Olympics or conferences, but Aaron got my brain working. There's a couple big special needs events and conferences in Colorado. So I'm going to try to see if I can get a table and do one there. I may do a Facebook ad that's targeted to specific populations like infant and child loss awareness month or breast cancer month. I'm going to try to do a Denver event probably next spring for specific chromosome disability or specific cancer. It just depends on my comfort level and what I think I can do. Next one. And pretty much my big rocks is I do everything, I need the embroidery machine to take my business to a higher level. I'm really picky. I've researched exactly which one I want. It's very expensive. It's around $2,400. Eventually I'll get there. Right now, all the bears take place in my home. So I have a sewing room. I have a fabric room. I've got basement. I've got space. I've got plenty of space to make them. I just got to make more time. And yeah, they're constructed in sterling. So next one. So the operation cycle is that I've got to have the financial resources to procure more fabric. Right now, I probably have enough fabric to make 100 bears with the time and stuff. And then, as it says, I just got to create that schedule for cutting them. I do streamline it. I throw the pattern on. I can cut 15, 20 bears in an hour if I just sit down and do it. Each bear takes me about 45 minutes to an hour to sew if I was going to sew one bear start to finish. Because I do everything in a chain stitch manner type thing, I can whip out probably 15 bears in 2 hours if I sit down and do it. Photographing my bears is one of the hardest things because I'm really picky. I want those pictures to look perfect. Pictures on the slides are definitely not the quality I usually do, but I do have a light box and things like that I need to use and do it. I got it like Becky. I've got to be better on Facebook and promote and post those pictures and promote my store and stuff. My promise has always been that I can pack and ship them within 24 hours. If it's an in-stock bear, I can pack it and ship it within 24 hours. If it's a custom bear that I have the fabric on hand and you just tell me what you needed, I can get that made within 3 days. It's out within 4. If I have to order fabric, that depends on suppliers. Sometimes supplies can get to me in 5 or 6 days. Sometimes it takes 8 to 10 weeks, depends on the customs or not. And then I always send a thank you. I include a cute little token with them. And, they know how to find me again. I do promotions. I send coupons, whatever it takes to bring them back in. Not on my bears, but on my superhero capes. If they buy one of the superhero capes, one is always donated back to a child that's in a hospital. 10%, or actually it's 20% of everything, all my bears that I sell, the awareness bears, goes to different charities. I may increase that to 30. I don't know yet. So next one. This is the exact embroidery machine I want. It's the top of the line. The number 2 has just come out a few months ago. So instead of being $2,500, the brand newest one that just came out, it's $4,500. Just fell into this tabletop quilt frame. It's on my list. Found out that you can get an Ender 3D printer less than $200, which is an amazing deal because then I can make crutches and wheelchairs and adapted equipment for my bears so that they can look like the special needs little one that their person wants them for. Air thread surgery is not a need, it's a want. I have a serger, it works perfectly fine. With having a plate and screws in my hand and having the inability to do some things with my hand someday, rethreading the serger is really complicated. So an air thread serger would make me use it more and be able to speed up what I sell. And my funding sources is just kind of do what I've always done, save up and sell product and just get more finances and just repeat the cycle over and over again. A last resort would ever be a loan, but one of my biggest things is trade my products, trade my time. You need what I have. I'm sure there's something that you have that I need, so we can swap. It seems to work in the past. Sometimes estate people, families die, and they'll be like, my mom had all this quilt fabric, do you want it? And sometimes I get bags of itty bitty teeny tiny little scraps people would throw away. Those scraps become a scrappy bear and they sell and people love them. So no piece of fabric is too small. Next one. And then these are a couple samples of my bears. So the flat ones, of course, are not stuffed. The Paw Patrol bear was for a customer here in town about 4 weeks ago. It was for her grandson. She said he sleeps with it every night. These are brand new eyes that I'm testing out. So they are clear and they actually have glitter in them. So that the backing is glitter, so they can be glitter, purple, blue, whatever. They are safe. They are all made with compliant materials. The government right now is trying to say that safety eyes, even though they're locking safety eyes, we should say the product is for 3 and above. And they're recommending embroidered eyes. To me, a child can pull out the threads and eat the threads more than they can ever get my eyes off. I have tested these so many times in the past. I have yet to have a child be able to yank these eyes out and destroy a bear, but I know there is a kid that's going to be able to do it. But unlike Molly bears or even Build-A-Bear and stuff, my bears are CPSIA compliant, Consumer Product Safety Initiative. They are registered as a small batch product. I have an EIN. I have everything done as safe as I can do. And like I said, I source American made fabrics if I can. Unfortunately, cotton just doesn't exist in America too much, and it's cost prohibitive. So my fabric does come from Joann's and other fabric stores. And I don't know where they source their fabric from, but it is compliant. And then there's my contact again too.
Thank you very much, Ethel. Wonderful. Oh, we've already got a question. All right. Ethel, I'm gonna have Kristen go ahead and start the way, and then it looks like Steve will have you right after Kristen.
So first, I want to say that you did a wonderful job on your presentation. I actually have 2 questions for you. My first one is, I am curious if you do like bears for miscarriages as well.
Yes. That was the tiny one that I did. That was a 20-week baby, probably 20 years ago.
Okay. And then my second question, because you did mention like developmental disabilities. I'm autistic myself, and a lot of the autistic community is trying to pull away from the puzzle piece icon because of who created it. So I was curious to know if you had any knowledge in that, or if you were doing research into that.
Actually, it's not who created the puzzle piece. The puzzle piece has been used for over 40 years. It's the company that, the charity, if you want to call it that took over the puzzle piece design and made it a symbol of autism and made it to where it's not as good and meaningful as it was in the past. But I believe in we are all unique. We are all different. All have unique abilities. If a person asks me to use the puzzle piece design, I will. That is not the symbol I use for my autism bears at all. I use different symbols and stuff, but I am not opposed to using the puzzle piece if people want, because just like the song Missing Pieces, that is what some people believe autism is. It's not what everybody believes. I also believe in people first language. I do not say that person is autistic. I will say that person has autism. I understand coming from a person with autism, you will say something different, but I believe in people first language. I will never say that autistic person any more than I will say that retarded person. It's that person with a cognitive delay, just my preferences. But I do understand where the controversy of the puzzle piece is. Yes, my own daughter has an Asperger's diagnosis from the time she was 9 months old. She has overcome, and the autism doesn't drive her, the sensory integration does. She has extreme sensory issues that are more of her issue than the autism ever will be in again. But I do understand the controversy.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry about that. I thought I was unmuted. All right, Steve, thank you for answering that, Etho, and so thoroughly. Steve, we'll have you go next, and then after you, we'll have Alice. Are you there, Steve? I think you're muted. Okay, Steve might have maybe had his hand up and didn't mean to. Alice, we'll go ahead and move on to you.
Yeah, so yeah, I really like this presentation. So I'm curious about have you ever marketed these bears to some mental health agencies or organizations, or have you ever collaborated with some behavioral health specialists or therapists?
Collaborated with them in what way, Alice?
I mean, all kinds of ways. Yeah.
Some of my bears are used in mental health facilities. They were purchased by therapists to use in play therapy. So some of them are there. I don't know how you mean collaborate though.
I mean, just like I'm working for the CSU extension located at NREC. So we have behavioral health specialists, and sometimes we have some open house and some public events. And for this type of events, it's a great opportunity to face the public and also promote some helpful tips about mental health. Yeah, I'm wondering for this type of events, maybe it's a
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I have not yet. I was going to do the suicide awareness one, but it ended up being on the same day that I was helping out Kim with her Generation Good Respect conference. It was supposed to be a week later, and it ended up being the same day, and it was perfectly fine. But I have promoted them at different events in the past, but not recently. No, but not specifically to mental health. When I'll look and see if we have something going on in Sterling soon. I'm limited with where I can go. I can travel outside of town, but it's a little more difficult. And so I can't just get in a car and go. I need to plan and do things. Like I said, I have an adult daughter with severe arthritis and stuff. And then I have pets at home that I have to have watched and stuff. So I can't just pick up and go like some people can, but I can schedule it and do things down the line.
I see. Thank you.
Wonderful. It's nice to hear that you do have plans for that or considering that towards the future. And thank you. Great question, Alice. All right, Bo, we'll have you answer or I'm sorry, not answer. We'll have you ask any questions you might have for Etho.
Yeah, I just think I think a little bit of what was just said. Like I think there's a lot of market opportunity for this, with these bigger organizations, with sponsorship, right? Finding people to pay you to make these bears for to give away for free, right? I think that could be a really interesting market to explore. I think for instance, I know the State Patrol, right? They like to have stuffed animals to give to people who are in children who are in car accidents, right? So this would be great for that. But
Yes.
if you could find like, I don't know, a bank to pay you to make these, and then you could go to the State Patrol, and like it's kind of that partnership, right? It's like finding finding people in the community, finding businesses who want that sort of exposure, who can say, hey, like we did this thing, and then bringing those to people who need them. I think there might be something to that.
I've tried that in the past though, and maybe it's just Sterling, maybe it's just me, I don't know. I just get the door slammed in my face and say no. And so to me, it's just easier. Just they don't cost that much for me. Cost factor. Each one of these bears probably cost me anywhere between $2 and $6 to make. So cost effectiveness, that's an hour, that's less than an hour work for me working. So if I do 6 or 7 extra hours work in a week, my paid job, I can afford to donate a few right now. And as I'm selling them, if I'm selling them at $40, that's a huge profit to me. And I can afford to give it back to somebody else instead of waiting around for a sponsorship that may or may not ever come to fruition. Sometimes it's just easier just to do it by yourself. I understand what you're saying, but Sterling just keeps saying no, 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 no. And too many doors slammed, you just give up.
Sure. Well, I think reach out to CSU Extension. I think it might be worth exploring with them, it sounds like. But anyways, great presentation, great products.
Thank you.
And wonderful. And a lot of the times it's also who you know and when the timing's right too. Timing has a little bit to do with it. So I feel like with following up with what Bo's saying, it might be worth it when you're ready, not right now, of course, but when you're ready to maybe come back to it. If you decide to at that time. And then I noticed Kate also has her hand up. Kate, do you have any follow-up questions or clarifications?
Yes, thank you. I loved it, Ethel. Now that I've seen pictures of the bears, I see some licensed characters, like Mickey Mouse and this puppy. Have you looked at all into any licensing?
I have the license for the material that I'm using on those bears. I have paid for the license on every character bear that I make. I have paid licensing fees for the specific fabrics that I have. I have bought them from specific people that have made and manufactured that fabric. Yes, like I said, I do everything following CPSIA laws, trademark laws, things like that. I am the original owner of the original memory bear, the original Scrappy Bear. It has come to my attention through someone in Sterling that somebody in Nebraska is selling her memory bears as the original memory bear. I will be following that up with copyright and trademark because I do have a copyright and trademark on that name.
Wow, well done.
Thank you.
She owns that material. I love it. All right, wonderful. Does anyone else have any follow-up questions for Ethel? I think all of our judges have had enough time to finish filling out their forms. And if not, we'll continue moving on. Okay, wonderful. Bringing up the lead, we have Darian. Darian, whenever you're comfortable, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and start.
I'm ready.
Wonderful.
Hi, my name is Darian Tate. I am the founder and owner of Tater Tot Photography. I'm based in Sterling, Colorado. I can be reached on Facebook and Instagram at Tater Tot Photography or through email at tatertotphotography@yahoo.com. I am currently working on a website. It should be up in the next couple days. It's tatertotphotography.com. I strive to capture moments otherwise forgotten and big celebrations in between. I don't just want to give people the cookie cutter photos, but I want to also capture the soul in front of the camera. Next slide. So for the market environment, for the competitive market and where I fit in, so the population, according to the census for Sterling, as of 2021 was 13,000, almost 14,000 people, and they predicted it in 2021 to go up. 49% of that population is married, and 75.8% has families with at least a 1-year-old in the house, with the median age is 37. So I want to focus on married people with anniversaries or just anniversaries in general. And that could also be for businesses as well. My competition would be 20 other photographers in and around the northeastern area. My 4% target customer would be married people or people with significant others. They would have a disposable income or some money that they could set aside for a photo shoot. The age range would be about 30 to 85. That seems to be the most common for people with significant others that they are looking for photos. For my 4 Ps, the product I would have 1 hour would be about 20 to 40 photos. It seems like a lot, but a lot of photographers in the area, for an hour, they only give you 7 photos, and it just seems like a lot of money to spend on only 7 photos. My starting price for an hour would be $100. And as I grow my customer base, I will raise that to meet the other photographers in the area. For the place, as of right now, it would be outside, but I would eventually like to get a studio. And then for my promotion, it would be want to capture beautiful memories, but can't find someone to capture them. Contact Tater Tot Photography and she'll take them for you. For my marketing action plan, I want to use a lot of flyers in and around businesses. They have a lot of bulletin boards. My social media, a lot of people around Sterling and in Sterling use Facebook. It's primarily what people look at when they're looking for different events going on in Sterling. And then my website and word of mouth, as well as business cards, just leaving them at tables and restaurants and maybe a bank or two. For my operations big rocks, I wear all the hats, and then what I would need would be marketing materials, a computer, then I have a camera and some SD cards, and then flash drives if they don't want to provide an email or if they have a big event that just I can't send it all in an email. And then the where would be outside and eventually a studio. So for my operation cycle, the first task would be marketing, and I would need a computer for the social media and the website, and then business cards and flyers. And from that, I would receive a client, and that would be from the good marketing and reviews eventually on the website. And then I would find out what the customer needs, and that just comes with customer service. I would find a location and ask them what time they're available. So that would be a lot of research and making sure I find the perfect place that fits. My next task would be taking the photos, which would require the camera and SD card, and then editing photos, which would be the software on the computer, and then sending them off to the client would be with an email that they provide or a flash drive. And then getting feedback would be the last task. And that would be from efficiently getting them the photos that they paid for and good customer service. For capital needs, since I already have a camera that I use, I wouldn't need that, but I would need flash drives. A pack of 10 roughly goes for $25. And then SD cards for 128 gigabyte, it would provide enough space to take photos of about 4 or 5 clients, and that runs about $18. And then a computer, I could either buy secondhand for about $200 to $700, or I could get a brand new one. I would definitely search for a secondhand computer first. And then funding, I would use my personal investments, friends and families members who would support me, beginning clients, and then possible loans. So this is one of the photos that I've taken of a client. She was really fun to work with, a good spirit. Again, my name is Darian Tate. I am the founder of Tater Tot Photography. I am in Sterling, and then there's all my info.
Wonderful, wonderful job, Darian. I absolutely love the photo at the end. And it looks like before I even have to ask if anyone has any questions, Alec, I see your hand is up.
Hi, thank you, Jen. And thank you very much, Darian. That was a great presentation. The reason why I kind of jumped to asking a question is I myself am also a photographer, but don't worry, Darian, I'm not competition. I don't do that right now other than for myself. It's been a while since I've sold my services. But the question that I really had was that, so you said that you were starting off at about $100 an hour for, was it 40 photos? Was I correct?
Anywhere from 20 to 40 photos. It just depends. I also do outtakes. So kind of the goofy pictures that kind of capture the couple or the family that I'm taking pictures of would also be included in those.
Gotcha. And Darian, can I ask, have you ever sold your services as a photographer in the past?
I've sold to one couple, and they got about 20 pictures, and that included the outtakes.
Gotcha. So the one comment that I wanted to make, because I thought that my little bit of experience here might be a valid suggestion, not to take away anything from your mentors, of course. What I wanted to mention was that always keep in mind that for every photo that you take, there's obviously a certain amount of time that you're at home on the computer doing editing, post-processing, etc. So when you calculate your, how much you're charging per hour, keep that in mind, because 7 photos, it sounds like, oh, that's not a lot of photos, but your hourly rate goes down quite a bit with the amount of time you take editing each photo. So I just wanted to let you know that don't be afraid to sell your services at a higher mark, because in my personal experience, many times the higher your rate is, the less I guess complicated your customers become, and the lower it is, the more demanding they can be. So don't sell yourself short. That's, I guess, what I want to say.
Thank you.
Wonderful advice all around, Alec. Great advice. Obviously directed towards you, Darian, but just for all of us to be able to take in, very sound. I have a question.
I appreciate it.
I have a question for you, Darian, if you don't mind. Are you solely how do I want to ask this? You mentioned that your target, your 4% market is for couples, individuals, anniversaries, live photos. Would you be willing to, or looking in the future at maybe opening up to maybe school photos at the schools as a large picture, or even like product photos, such as helping people get their own photos online?
Yes, I've actually been wanting to look into the product photos. My sister wants to start a business as well, and she already said that if she does that, then I could take the photos for her and get my name out there even more. But the school, the seniors would be a good, because they're also a big percentage of the Sterling population.
Okay, I was just curious if that was something in your future, in your scope, or something you were not interested in at all at this time. So wonderful, great, thank you. Do we have any other questions for Darian, or anything that we might need clarified while we're finishing up our scoreboards? Okay, wonderful. With that, we're going to go ahead and go on. It looks like we have lightbox suggestions in the comments and facts. So wonderful input, wonderful advice. Thank you to everyone who is asking questions, and entrepreneurs for your feedback on that and clarifying everything. With that, we're going to go ahead and go into our breakout rooms, where we are going to split into teams with our entrepreneurs and have a couple of, like, just a little bit of a one-on-one area where we can kind of discuss, give some feedback. It should always be high level, positive, and honest. So Doug, if you're still with me here, I'll have you go ahead and start up the breakout rooms, and then we're going to do that until it's 7:27. We'll come back at 7:37. So we'll do 10 minutes in a breakout room, join back, and that'll be it.
Awesome. And I'll go